It's always, hello. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It feels different to be on the other side of the screen.
Oh, being interviewed rather than, asking all the questions.
Yep.
Well, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself to all of our friends watching today?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Dr. Joy Peterson. I'm the Dean of Students at Cal Poly. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm super excited to be here. I also have an active Instagram account, so I hope you're following me. I've done lots of live interviews as well with students and student leaders, and then folks in student affairs, which I understand I'll be talking about with y'all, student affairs related stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And hello, I'm Lindsay. It's our first time meeting, but hello. Also, everyone out there, I am also a poly rep, as well as working for the admissions office. So if y'all are interested in on-campus tours, we have a shout out for you. Definitely check out our campus tours and all that good stuff. So also to everyone watching, if y'all have questions as we're talking, go ahead and put them like in the comments or in the little like question and bubble chat thing, and I will get those questions to you. But would you like to tell us a little bit about what you do as Dean of Students? Wow, what a title.
I would love to. So I do a lot of different things. A lot of folks think about conduct when they hear the words Dean of Students. They might imagine our Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities, which does fall within our area. But also a big part of my job is helping students in crisis, helping students get connected to the right resources at Cal Poly, helping students, parents, faculty, staff navigate our complex campus landscape. I'm a liaison for the university and students. I work with student activists and oversee our Peace Ambassadors program. I co-chair the Basic Needs Task Force and work with students who are experiencing food insecurity or hunger. So I do a lot of different things. I'm also on the leadership team for Student Affairs, and Student Affairs includes housing, the health center, counseling services, leadership, career services. So it's a lot, but I will
Yeah, I
say,
was gonna say, do you ever sleep?
oh, I never sleep. I started as an advisor at Cal Poly 18 years ago and
Wow.
spent 10 years overseeing the Center for Service and Action, which is one of my favorite centers in student affairs, and was one of the founding members of the Alternative Breaks program. And then before becoming the Dean of Students, I was the Associate Dean for about 5 years.
Wow. Oh my. Okay, so you just named, my head is spinning. I was like, I took, 3 classes last quarter, and I was like, I'm busy. I'm very busy. And here you are, like running the school. That is actually crazy. Well, also, I just have to say thank you for all that you do, and for making Cal Poly such a wonderful place, and the part you have in that. So I have actually the website up for Student Affairs, and can you tell us a little bit about what Student Affairs actually is?
Yes, absolutely. So most folks, when they pick a college, they're thinking, what am I going to major in? What do I want to be when I graduate? What classes do I have to take? And all of that really falls under academic affairs. And it was probably the primary reason that universities and colleges were created in the first place. Over the decades, we have added services for students because the campus is really your home away from home. So
Right.
we need housing, we need food, we need things for you to do, we need ways for you to burn off energy, ways to connect and create social, relationships, bonds, networking. And all of that ended up sort of being lumped together in a division called Student Affairs. And Student Affairs is now a well-respected profession. It's an integral part of a holistic college experience. As you can imagine, your housing, your dining, well, dining doesn't fall under student affairs, but it is outside of academic affairs.
Right.
Um, Athletics, all of that is what complements your classroom experience. And so all of our programs are to enhance your experience at Cal Poly. And for a lot of folks, they end up being what really make people feel connected to campus.
I second that so much. Like I'm looking at all of this stuff on the website. Um, the I want to get this right. And Jackie, if you're watching, you can also plug the website. It's studentaffairs.calpoly.edu. Yes? Does that sound correct?
That sounds correct.
Beautiful. Yeah, Jackie, if you want to plug that in the comments just so people can easily access it. I'm looking at this and I was like, oh my goodness, so many of these programs have played such a big part in my life as a student. I can imagine for the other 20,000 Cal Poly students, they definitely have. What would you say is one of like the lesser known things that you wish more students knew about?
Well, I've been doing slow days. Today was the last in-person slow day session, and
oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah, a couple of sessions ago, I got a similar question, but it was, what's the biggest mistake that people make? So I feel like lesser known information, mistake, kind of the same. But what I really want students to know is most, especially incoming students, think that they're going to make their lifelong friends and make their community sooner than they actually do. So some students come in thinking they're going to find that best like lifelong friend in the first day, right? Or the first week of the quarter, or even the first quarter of the year. And it actually takes up to a year and sometimes even more for most students to have that experience. So when I talk to students in the beginning, they often say, I'm the only one who doesn't have a friend group. I'm the only one who doesn't know what's going on, who doesn't have a clue, who doesn't fit in, who doesn't have a community, who's not having fun. And so many students have told me that I have to believe that most students are feeling that way, and you're not the only one. And in fact, that's a totally normal experience. And so my advice is for students to give themselves more time than you think you need. When I talk to WOW leaders who are often second year returning students, many of them say WOW leading experience is the first time I felt like I actually know what's going on.
Right.
Because first year is full of first everythings, So give yourself and if you are, I think, sometimes it does get really overwhelming. And so I would say, if you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not finding joy in anything, then call someone like myself or counseling services or your RA. And then you can talk to someone about maybe getting the help that you need. But for most students, feeling lonely, confused, like you're the only one that doesn't know what's going on, are really normal feelings. And I think that people are often surprised that they don't feel like they fit in right away.
I second all that so much. I was definitely someone who was fortunate. I had, like my best friend to this day. I actually met him in my WOW group, but then, I actually just went up to the Bay and visited some friends this past weekend, and I didn't meet them until like my third year. And so it's such an interesting thing. And the people at Cal Poly are so kind and welcoming, but there's something definitely to be said for it takes time to find your rhythm. It doesn't come within the first day. And so I second that so wholeheartedly. It takes time to find your people. And it's okay that it takes time. And get involved. Oh my goodness, to anyone watching, get involved. That's how you're going to be able to find your people. Funny enough, I don't even know how to ride a bike, but all of my friends are on triathlon teams. So like, I'm glad they got involved in that, or else, I wouldn't have that entire friend group. So definitely get involved, but cut yourself some slack and give yourself some time. So
yeah. And if you think statistically, the more you go to club meetings, knock on doors, introduce yourself to people in class, like that's just going to increase your odds of finding your friend group and meeting people that are interesting to you and you want to hang out with. So you get out of it what you put into it. And I know sometimes it's outside our comfort zone to ask someone to go eat with us or study with us, but the more you do it, the more you're going to get out of it.
Also, pro tip, if you're in a class and you don't know anyone, just look to the person to your right and say, hey, I don't know anyone in this class. Can I have your number? So if I have any questions, and people are like, thank goodness I don't know anyone either, here. And then you make a friend. It's the easiest way. Pro tip, done it a million times. That's how I've made some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
So,
I always say everyone has to eat and study.
mm-hmm. So I second that so wholehearted. And so I hope everyone out there watching is like, I feel that, so, um, so the student diversity and belonging, is that under you as well?
It's not under the Dean of Students anymore. It used to be, and I've worked very closely with all the centers in my career here at Cal Poly, but it's now its own standalone department, and it's managed by Dr. Jamie Patton,
Right.
but we are all in the same division.
Okay, incredible. I recommend everyone out there to definitely look into that as well. Just because, I don't know, thinking about it, it's important, and I'm seeing on this list of services, the Gender Equity Center and the Multicultural Center and things like that. So definitely check those out. But how are, I think, some of the best ways for, we actually have a question. This is really exciting. Oh, they're about dorms and roommates.
Soon, you'll all be finding out soon.
There's your answer to whoever asked that. There's your answer. You'll be finding out soon. Congratulations. It's very exciting. So are there any programs that you think, like, under student affairs, that you think not enough students know about or take advantage of?
Well, you mentioned the student diversity and belonging groups, and I mean, actually, I think most programs in the division, when students come to us and they discover us, they say, "Oh, I wish I had known. I had no idea that you existed." We're trying to get to students early on, but I think there's just so many things to get involved with. So the Centers for Diversity and Belonging are really amazing. So like you started to mention, it's the Gender Equity Center, the Pride Center, Multicultural Center, DREAM, Black Academic Excellence Center, Men and Masculinities. All of these areas have programs. They have spaces where you can hang out, where you can meet other students. They have big events like Culture Fest, where you can go and meet lots of students. They also have small, more intimate, like dialogues and things like that. So that's a great place to start. And I think many students who are affiliated with those centers, like I said, wish that they had known about them earlier. I think a well-known area of our division is Greek life. So about 20+% of students participate in fraternities and sororities at Cal Poly. That's a big part of our division. I don't know.
I was in Greek life at one point. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. It was a wonderful experience to be a part of.
Oh, good. Good. I don't know if people know that you can get involved with career services as a first year. So there's a first year experience team that provides all kinds of great opportunities for getting connected. You can go to the career fair your first year. You can start building your resume. You can go to workshops. And I know a lot of students are really focused on their, what they're going to do when they graduate, their career, their internships, like that. And it's never too early to start. So I think that's another resource that, especially first and second year students might not know as much about.
My entire senior project was on students, especially the most recent kind of like classes that, especially with COVID, they haven't been able to be on campus. They haven't been able to see things, and how getting involved is so important, and it's important for career success. And so that's like literally what I did my senior project on. So definitely get involved, especially if you've already been on campus for a year or two. Like it'll help you find your way.
Yeah. One of my favorite, shall I share my favorite?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is the Alternative Breaks program. So every winter we take a group of students to New Orleans to do service work. And this was started about 15 years ago by a group of students who wanted to go and help out after Hurricane Katrina. So these students came to our department and said, we want to go on this trip. Our professor won't let us take our finals early unless it's a university-sponsored activity. And will you help us? And so we worked together, planned this trip. And when they came back, they said, we need to do this every year. So I've been on the trip twice, and I both times met lifelong friends. I'm friends with the students that went on the trip. I'm probably closer to them than any other students that I've worked with at Cal Poly. And then in the summer, they do typically an international trip. So we've been to Jamaica, South Africa, South America, Central America. And it's a great meet people to get out of slow, to do something good, some service work. And like I said, you'll meet people that you'll probably be friends with for life, because it's just a really great positive bonding experience. So I'm a big fan of alternative breaks.
What is that through? Which program is that through?
For service and action.
Okay. Oh, that is, I went to New Orleans actually to do like a community service type thing. Back in 2015, time of my life. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that. And I give tours for the school. I had no idea that was a thing. That is so, so cool.
Yeah. Little known program, but like I said, lifelong friendships.
That's like a perfect thing to get involved with, because you're like giving back to the world, you're meeting people, you're going on an adventure, you're like having such a unique experience. Oh, so good. That's so cool. And New Orleans is also like the greatest city. So
yeah.
Question are Cal Poly's like wellness programs for student affairs like our food pantry and Safer and things like that?
They're under the Health and Wellbeing Center for Wellbeing.
Okay. So remind me again, what falls under student affairs?
Under student affairs or under the dean of students?
Both.
Okay, so student affairs includes the dean of students, the center, the student diversity and belonging, all the centers I mentioned earlier, counseling services, new student and orientation programs, the disability resource center, student academic services, which is EOP and TRIO and Upward Bound. There's a couple of student support services, the health center, housing. Health center includes counseling services. What am I missing? Yeah, it's athletics.
It's so much. And for dean of students, for you specifically,
so students is the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities, which is conduct.
Okay.
And student support, success, and retention, which is our care team.
Incredible.
Oh, about CP Scholars. I forgot to mention CP Scholars. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
I'm sure I forgot a couple other. Safer,
all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for retention and things like that, what does that look like?
So that falls under our care team. So we have case managers who work one-on-one with students, like I said, typically in crisis. So it could be homelessness, it could be a mental health issue, an academic issue, a death in the family, an accident like a bike injury, or an illness like something that's causing a student to have to take some time off school. So anytime a student has an emergency like that, we reach out, we offer support, and then we help guide them through all the resources, whether it's counseling services or taking some time off, dropping a class through the registrar, or getting them registered with the DRC. So depending on what the nature is of the crisis, we work with students, like mostly in emergencies, and help them stay on track, make sure that they're not being penalized for missing classes, or we help them get extensions if they need an extended deadline or to take an incomplete, because the quarter system moves so fast, and if you get sick or have like a setback in any way, it can be really challenging to get caught up.
Yeah, I actually had a situation, and the faculty and just the support from like the administration and faculty was absolutely incredible, and they made the process of taking it complete and then finishing it later, they made it such a smooth process for such like when it's a tough time in your life for whatever it may be. I found that Cal Poly, just the people here, like the adults, as much as I'm 22 years old, I'm so not an adult. They're so supportive. Y'all are just so supportive and so understanding. And so that's one thing, is I think people are so worried about, don't miss class, and, don't get sick, don't take care of yourself. But that's so not.
Life happens.
Yeah, life does happen. And it's weird going from high school and you're like, shoot, I have to be at it, and I have to like push myself, at college, I feel like at Cal Poly, we want students to take care of themselves and know that they have the resources to take care of themselves. So that's just something from a personal standpoint I've totally like gotten, you know?
Yeah, we're definitely focused on student success. And I find the faculty are really supportive. You know, if you're in a position where you can talk to your faculty directly about what's going on, I would say, you know, start there. A lot of the times we're working with students who are in the hospital or they've had to leave campus, you know, in a panic or in a rush, and they didn't bring all the information with them. And so we're here to help. But I think a lot of times, yeah, you can work things out directly with your faculty, and they're really supportive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if y'all want to send in any questions that you might have, go ahead and send those in the comments or the little chat bubble thing. But I would love to hear from you. Is there anything you want everyone out there who's going to watch this video to know? Any like any wisdom you would like to impart on us?
I will share some breaking news that we'll be sharing more about soon. But we are planning a program called Campus Comeback. I have sort of teased it on my social media at the end of last year. We knew that we were going to be planning something special for everybody coming back to campus. And we know that our incoming first-year students are going to go through WOW. They're going to have a great orientation. They're going to get their rooms and their room assignments, and they're going to have all of the support that we provide students every year. At the same time, we have a class of students, our returning second-year students, who may or may not have been on campus last year, who may or may not have had in-person classes, and who may just need some refreshers on what it's like to be on campus, in person, you know, doing Cal Poly. So, and then we have other students who just haven't been here for a year and a half, and maybe they were here as freshmen or first year students, and then COVID, and so. Right. Anyway, Campus Comeback is a special 10-day program for all the returning students, and there will be a special cohort breakout session for second year students and second year returning transfer students. And we're just about ready to hit the launch button. We're getting lots of questions, and we're just, like I said, very, very close to making the announcement. But we're going to have concerts and giveaways and receptions and an info booth in the UU all week for people who are lost. And we're going to have a booth at Farmers Market, letting the community know that we're back. And we're just trying to really build up the excitement for us all to be back together again.
That's huge. Wow. Thank you for that. I mean, I'm a fifth year, so, you know, I've been around the block, all that stuff, but it's weird, you know, when I would like go on campus, you know, to give a tour every once in a while, and it's empty, and, you know, seeing just the life, it's so different. And so I think coming back to Cal Poly, everyone is ready, and I cannot wait to just see how this like pumps up the community of Cal Poly students and in SLO in general. So
and a lot of swag.
that there is never too much.
Swag.
Yeah, it's like the amount of stuff I have, my like get your staying on sign behind me, you know, all that stuff. Nice. The amount of Cal Poly things I own is absurd, but in the best way. We have a question. How do you declare concentration? It depends. That's kind of an interesting question. Go ahead and check out our YouTube page. We actually talk about declaring majors, minors, and concentrations on there. So check out our YouTube page. All right. I don't see any more questions. So is there anything else you would like? Wow. Also, that's huge news. Wow. That is crazy. You heard it here, folks. That's so exciting. But is there anything else you would like to leave everyone watching with?
Just that I'm really excited to see everyone back on campus in the fall. And it's an honor for me to work with all of you. You inspire me, you lift me up, you give me energy every day to come to work. And the students are really the best part of Cal Poly. So thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm really excited for fall.
It's going to be incredible. And Sam, I see you just joined. If you want to give a quick, like one brief thing of what that is, but Sam, don't worry, this entire thing will be uploaded to our YouTube page, but I give the floor back to you.
All right, so I was talking about Campus Comeback. In a nutshell, it's a 10-day event welcoming students back to Cal Poly in the fall. We're going to have lots of great giveaways, events every day, and we just want to really build the excitement and enthusiasm around us all being back together again.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. That's going to be fantastic. Oh, I hear, okay, there's a great question. I hear masks are going to be required at Cal Poly. Is that official?
Yes, so
Yes.
we are requiring everyone vaccinated and unvaccinated to wear your masks indoors, and that does include housing. So that is something new-ish that was just announced and has been in the works for a little while, and it's official now. So
Yeah, we just got the email from President Armstrong today. So we want to make sure everyone's happy and healthy and we can be back in person. So if wearing a mask is what it takes, like I promise you, being on campus is worth it, being worth all of this. So there's that. I don't see any more questions right now. So I think that is where we are going to wrap up. But I want to say thank you so much for being on. And have a wonderful rest of your week. And thank you so much for all that you do for us, the students here at Cal Poly and the community. So thank you, seriously.
absolutely. If anyone has questions for me directly, you can direct message me and follow me at Cal Poly DOS.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Hey there, my name's Rafael. I'm a fourth-year journalism transfer student with a minor in Spanish, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Thank you for watching the video. Please share any questions or comments you have down below in the comments section. Click here to subscribe, and to watch more videos, click here. If you want to sign up for a campus visit, we're offering in-person and virtual options, so check out our website. Link in the description. Thank you for watching.